Hey guys, Scare9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video, I want to break down all of the content that we have coming in Season 13 in just over a week. I'm thinking this is going to be a very, very good season. We have a ton of content coming, which I'll be breaking down in this video, but in addition to that, Bungie has a trend that I've started to pick up on, where they alternate kind of well-received and not so well-received seasons. So for instance, the start of the seasonal model would really be Black Armory. That's when they started doing this kind of game as a service model. Black Armory was received very well. You moved on to Season of the Drifter, where it wasn't. Season of the Opulence was. Season of the Undying wasn't. Season of the Dawn was one of the best seasons ever. Then Season of the Worthy, people kind of really hated it. Then you had Season of the Arrivals, which was amazing. And now you have Season of the Hunt, which once again, people hate. So they very strongly follow this kind of good, bad, good, bad, good, bad model, and it's time for a good season. But in addition to all of that, we have a lot of confirmations of kind of new loot, new activities, returning loot, and that sort of thing that I think is going to make Season 13 an incredibly strong season. So let's just go ahead and start talking about it. So, of course, it's a brand new season. We'll get a brand new seasonal activity, new armor and weapons, a new seal, and, you know, of course, amazing story. Bungie has been destroying it with the story lately, starting with like Season of the Dawn. Season of the Worthy was kind of a low point. But for the most part, since Season of the Dawn, their storytelling has been impeccable. And I cannot wait to see where this story goes and to see like the kind of next steps for Shivu Wrath and Crow and that sort of thing. Based on the top of an image that Bungie put out in the last This Week at Bungie, it looks like this season might be Cabal focused, maybe even focusing on Keitel, who is Callus's daughter. However, we do not have confirmation of that just yet. We do get a trailer in just a couple of days though that I'm very excited about. The seasonal activity probably isn't going to be anything too awesome. I'm hoping we get something like the Sundial or the Menagerie, but I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath just yet. But I am very excited to see what type of new armors we have, what new weapons we have, the new seal, and that sort of thing. Now, Bungie also mentioned that starting with this season, we are going to be getting seasonal challenges, very similar to like a lot of other live service games. This is just something that's going to keep us busy from week to week and reward us adequately with things like experience and Bright Dust. This experience is going to directly feed into our new season pass, which of course leads into the brand new season pass cosmetics that we get and the new seasonal exotic. We don't know what it is just yet, but a brand new exotic is definitely coming. Now, we also are getting a brand new ritual weapon as confirmed by the latest This Week at Bungie, and that of course is going to have cosmetic ornaments based on the 3 ritual activities: Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. So even more content there. Then, Bungie also introduced a brand new seasonal activity, which is going to be re-guilding titles. Now, most people won't care about this. I am incredibly happy that this is coming to the game, and I cannot wait to get into the grind, because Dredgen, Flawless, Unbroken, and Conqueror are all going to be able to be upgraded to a new gilded version of the title every season. So I'm very interested to dive into that system and see what they have waiting for us there. Now, there's also a bunch of other content that isn't necessarily tied in with the season that we are getting access to. So the most notable is going to be 2 new strikes, the Fallen Saber and the Devil's Lair strikes from Destiny 1. These are 2 fan favorites. I would say probably 2 of the most popular strikes of all time. Now, what's really interesting is they did also mention a while back that they're trying to return the Cosmodrome to what it looked like in the vanilla version of Destiny 1. I don't think they ever mentioned bringing the Plaguelands back because they seem to have kind of forgotten about the Rise of Iron story. I wouldn't expect it to come back, but what's really interesting is that the Devil's Lair strike takes place in an area of the Cosmodrome that we don't have access to yet currently. That's going to be the Rocket Yards. So I would not be surprised if the Rocket Yards in the Cosmodrome kind of returns to some extent next season. So we'll just have to wait there and see. Now, Luke Smith also had an interview with Polygon, and the writers of the Polygon article seem to kind of suggest that Luke Smith said that we would be getting new aspects and fragments, or one or the other, or some variation thereof, every season. And that does, of course, include Season 13. So I'm not going to set this one in concrete, but it does seem like there is a high possibility that we get either new aspects or new fragments or both next season, which is really cool. And then we also are getting the return of the Umbral Engram system and the Prismatic Recaster, which has a whole nother loop to it because we are able to kind of go out and grind and earn specific focusing lenses to allow us to farm out specific rolls of specific types of weapons and probably armor as well. So there is a lot of content there, an additional content loop that is going to be permanently injected into the game. Now, in addition to all of this stuff, we are getting 3 new pieces of brand new exotic armor, probably 1 per class, I would imagine, and these will be farmable from Legendary and Master Lost Sectors, which is very interesting because we are getting 4 brand new Legendary and Master Lost Sectors on the moon, and those are going to be, of course, the 4 existing Moon Lost Sectors are just going to be converted into these farmable activities, which is very interesting. Once again, more content to go out and run, more interesting rewards. I'm a big fan of this system. I'm glad to see them expanding on it, and I can't wait to see what these armor pieces do. So those are a lot of the additions coming into the game, but what are they doing to amp up existing content already in the game? So we're going to start with the ritual playlist, things like Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. Each of those are going to get 2 new farmable post-match drop weapons, which is really cool. So Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit are all going to have 2 additional weapons that drop after completing activities there that hopefully are good enough to warrant farming out for god rolls, which is really cool. Now, in addition to that, Nightfalls are gaining 3 brand new weapons to Destiny 2. These weapons are returning from Destiny 1, the Palindrome Hand Cannon, the Shadow Price Auto Rifle, and the Swarm Machine Gun. These were pretty much all fan favorites in Destiny 1 as well. It'll be really cool to see them return into the ecosystem in Destiny 2. But what's really interesting is not only are these weapons exclusive to Nightfalls, but if you do the Grandmaster versions of Nightfalls, you can get Adept versions of all 3 of these weapons, which of course accept Adept mods from Trials. I'm not sure if Grandmasters are going to drop additional Adept mods. I really hope they do, but we'll just have to wait and see. But speaking of Trials, Bungie also has said in the past that Trials will be getting a new armor, weapons, and accessories starting in Season 13, and it should be on a yearly cycle from here on out. And they gave us a little sneak peek of the armor, and it looks absolutely incredible. I'm incredibly excited to have a refresh of this activity. I'm hoping this will inject brand new players into the player base, make the matches not so awful, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm a big fan of Trials. I still play it every weekend, and it'll be nice to have rewards to go and actually hunt down again, which will be really awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the final thing we're going to talk about today are the return to relevancy for 2 of my favorite activities in the game, the Dungeons, Shattered Throne, and Pit of Heresy. I absolutely love these pieces of content, and what Bungie's doing to give us more things to grind for is they are reissuing armor from the Dreaming City and the Moon to drop from activities on the Dreaming City and the Moon. But what's most exciting about this to me is that the dungeons now will drop extremely high rolled armor, and they will have versions of the returning weapons, those being Waking Vigil, Sleepless, Vouchsafe, and Retold Tale for the Shattered Throne, and Apostate, Heretic, Blasphemer, and Premonition for the Pit of Heresy. And if you get these weapons to drop from the dungeons, they will have exclusive perk pools that are not available from the renewed versions of these weapons that just drop from general activities on their respective locations. So if you do want to go farm out something like a Waking Vigil, you probably are able to just go to Blind Well and farm one out. However, I imagine the best perks are going to be reserved for the dungeon drops, which is incredibly exciting for me. So seems like next season we have a lot of content specifically in the end game, things like gilded titles, adept weapons to farm for in Grandmaster Nightfalls, new trials loot, the return of dungeons, and things like that. So as an end game centric player, it makes me incredibly excited, but there's also a lot of content for the everyday player, the new seasonal activities, the return of strikes from Destiny 1, new exotics to get from Lost Sectors, and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff coming next season. We don't even know what the season is going to be centered around. We'll find out very, very soon. But I just wanted to make a video showing why I'm so excited for this season. Just based off of all of this information, it seems like it's going to be a pretty solid season, and that's not even counting any sort of secret content like new exotics or missions or things like that. that they're playing closer to their chest. So I'm incredibly excited for this. Let me know what you guys think about all of this information down in the comment section below. I hope you're as hyped for Season 13 as I am. We don't have that long to wait, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and share it with your friends. If you're interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed to more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.